What's going on, YouTube? This is Metal Complex, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops Black Tanto. I hate it. I hate this. And you could have guessed probably by the title of the video. But this is a poor excuse of a folding knife. And it's right along the same lines of the one that I did the other day, that mystery NOY, military looking, blah, blah, blah. I literally 10 minutes ago, I looked this up on Google, and this is a perfect example of why you cannot trust reviews online, or like where it says how many stars, and then like a bunch of people say. So on Google, I pulled this up. 114 reviews has an average of 4.6 stars out of 5. 4.6. Oh my God. I mean, clearly everybody who purchased this knife, who gave it a good review, has never handled anything better. And I find that hard to believe because this is horrible. I mean, this is bottom of the barrel. Nothing against Smith & Wesson. They certainly have their place in the firearms world, and that's not what this channel is about. We're not going to discuss that. But this is made in China. This has nothing to do with American law enforcement or military, this is another example of something that's just made, to look extreme when in fact it's not. It's an incredibly docile hunk of crap. This is aluminum, and again, nothing wrong with aluminum, but there's a specific grade. 6061 T6 is generally premium aluminum that you would find on your Microtechs and a lot of your American autos. This is mystery aluminum with a weird rubber. You see how it splits right here? There's a liner and then there's something on the outside. This is like another plate of aluminum with rubber on it. Ugh. I don't like rubber on fixed blades, folding knives, any of that, because that really falls apart pretty quickly. Here's something else interesting. If you guys look back to some of my other videos, this pivot is the same as that last weird junker military knife. And it's also the same on that really, really inexpensive Kershaw that I showed the other day. So that must be a common pivot that's provided, I don't know, by some Chinese company that puts it on a lot of stuff. But so we have your typical, just like I was talking about the other day, lots of these knives, they have the seatbelt cutter, and no, it doesn't cut anything. It's just a waste of space. That most of these don't do that. If you spend more money on a knife that's got that on there, it's probably actually sharp. That's just a chisel ground piece of metal in there that doesn't actually do anything. Then it has a glass breaker for all those times you're smashing out car windshields and stuff like that. That makes sense to make sure you've got that because you're doing it on a regular basis. I understand, there might be a situation where you might need that, but I don't know. I always roll my eyes when I see that. And then I've got this weird, this is vertical texturing. So these lines right here, that doesn't do anything. You've got this texturing here where it says Smith & Wesson. I always find that really cheesy when they put their logo on the handle. It just looks bad. So, the knife does have an ergonomic hand position, I guess, but here we go. The creme de la creme of tactical blade shapes. We have serrations that are literally, they're so pointy, they've been bent over. I hate serrations, and they're incredibly difficult to sharpen once they do go dull. And, if you've got a sharp enough blade, you really don't need serrations. Some people really like serrations. I'm not a huge fan of them. And again, I'm not going to dog on the Tanto blade shape, but there's a general theme that goes along with these super tactical military only knives. They're always Tantos, and a lot of them are serrated. There's a ton of them that look just like this. Smith & Wesson does not make a good folding knife. These are the types of knives that people look like and they're like, wow, that's an American folding knife. It's not. This is a Chinese folding knife that's made to look as American as possible. It's Smith & Wesson sells it, but they just outsource it to a Chinese company who can make it really, really cheap and make it look cool, and then they sell it. Tantos definitely have their utilitarian place. Some people talk about using this front edge right here. Don't worry, this is super dull. as sort of a chisel scraper kind of thing, and then you've got this edge here that's, I guess, you can use as your main cutting edge. And then, of course, for all that Kevlar you're piercing on a day-to-day basis, you can use that Tanto tip. So that's super cool. The blade is there's a lot of resistance here. There is a detent. Believe it or not, there's an actual detent that pulls it in. But of course, this is one of those where you can just shake it out. So super safe, for your extreme ops, your extreme operations. That'll come flying out in your pocket or wherever if you, go on a light jog. Anyways, so yeah, the blade is not centered as you would expect, and it rubs on the right side. So terrible. And this has really, really bad. Let's see if I can actually get this. This horizontal blade play is so bad, it's actually moving the liner lock. So that's not safe at all. A knife should not do that, ever. It'll do that if you beat the crap out of it. I mean, literally, like using this like a hammer, then yeah, it's going to do that. But you shouldn't be doing that. This is one of Greg's old knives. He submitted the 0303 to the channel, and has since only carried that one, and has no interest in this anymore. But he wasn't beating on this thing. This thing just did this over time. So that's terrible. But $20 for this. $20. No. Not even for $1. I say that all the time. Not even for $1. Let's do a quick size comparison again with the good old Hinderer XM. Very close to the same length. Turn it this way. You can see for an extreme ops knife, doesn't have much of an extreme build quality. And again, it's not really fair to compare this to a Hinderer, but if you're going to claim extreme, anything extreme, I mean, there's a knife that's truly meant to handle really hard use is not going to be like this. It's not going to be a super flimsy, poorly constructed liner lock with mystery aluminum handle scales, rubber, and a thin mystery steel black painted Tanto blade with serrations. It's just not going to be like this. And so they just put extreme ops on here. The implication being it's something to do with, I don't know, like the ops, the OPS, something to do with military, and then only for the extreme ones, like not the regular operations, only extreme operations. So they're just putting whatever on this, and not you're left to assume that it's specifically for that, when in fact it's not meant for that at all. So why don't we just put jackhammer on a Victorinox Cadet or Space Shuttle? Why not? I mean, as far as I know, this knife does not excel at breaking up concrete, nor does it allow you to exit the Earth's atmosphere. So, but it doesn't really matter, with the logic here, you can just put whatever on the blade and make it so. Maybe I'm tearing this thing apart way too much, and some people might watch this and be like, okay, dude, we get it. It's a cheap knife. But 116 reviews on Google and a 4.6 star. No, I mean, there's people being led astray by this. $20 is a waste of money on a knife like this. Don't spend $20 on a knife like this, assuming that you can go out and just do anything with it, or that it's somehow going to give you an advantage in a in a situation where you might need it in an emergency. And I'm not talking about self-defense, but I wouldn't, if I was trapped in a car underwater, and not that I plan to be, but if I was, this isn't going to save me. This isn't going to cut a seatbelt. This isn't the type of trustworthy tool that you want to have in your pocket, because it's anything but trustworthy. I mean, knives like these are just terrible examples. They're meant to draw people in, a certain crowd of people who don't know anything about knives and assume that this is quality American craftsmanship, when it's just not. No part of this was made in the United States at all. Pocket clip is tip down, right hand only, so that is really great. It makes me real happy. I hate tip down carry. I would prefer it this way. I mean, some people like tip down carry. Some people say that tip up is dangerous. We can argue that into the ground, but really, really, really terrible. Really, really terrible. If you've got $20 to spend on a knife, you can definitely get a better folder than this. Don't look at something like this. There's a million copies of these all over the place. And they're all the same design. They all look like this, and they're a complete waste of money. Take a look at some CRKTs or some Kershaws. I think even Cold Steel has some budget folders that are better, but just better build quality. Watch some of my other videos where I talk about some inexpensive knives that are safer. You're never going to get a premium steel in a knife like this. You're going to get probably 420J, which is not good at all. That's garbage steel. So it's going to go dull really quick. But, if the knife is designed correctly and it's safe, then it's okay to, have a budget steel that you got to resharpen constantly, as long as, it's not, you're not putting yourself in a situation where the blade can disengage like this one while you're using it and cut your finger. Way better to spend some money on a good folding knife than spend at least $250 on stitches at the hospital because your terrible knife disengaged and sliced your finger open. That's really all I have to say about this. I hate it so much. I hope you enjoyed the video today, however, despite my negativity towards this blade. And if you did, please leave a like. And if you would like to check out my other content, I do have some knives that I do enjoy, both less expensive and more expensive. So please check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, please subscribe. And thanks so much to the new subscribers. I noticed there were a few more through the week. And I really appreciate all the likes that I've been getting on my videos and the views and everything like that. So you guys keep it coming, and I will keep creating more content. So thanks again, and have a great day.